Hi, how are you today? This is your Pastor Peter Christian Hessing, and welcome again to more one of our interesting programs in our 24/7 series. And our series on anti-nuclear boomerangs, cutting nukes or cutting and disarming nuclear weapons and nuclear disarmament. And I pray to God that God is blessing you and that things are going well with you, and that whatever problems we have, we can always remember that we can turn to God and turn to Jesus or Jehovah and ask them to help us, as Jesus said that He will never leave us and He will never forsake us. Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, they shall be filled. And blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be called the children of God." And as I've been trying to get the world to move closer towards nuclear disarmament, and I've been telling you that there's a lot of cutting-edge technology now available that we can actually have nuclear disarmament and have nuclear reduction. And whoever we get as our next president, whether we get President Hillary Clinton or we get President Trump, we really have to have a new nuclear disarmament treaty to disarm all the nuclear weapons in the world. We have over 20,000 nuclear weapons in the world, and we really have to get rid of them. As you see with all the crisis now that we have in Syria and Ukraine, we need to have a new treaty that gives us a 24/7 inspection by the International Atomic Agency of all the nuclear weapons in the world, so as to make that no country launches a nuclear attack. We also need to ban the destructive power of these nuclear weapons. And we hear that Russia is building a Sarmat missile with 15 nuclear warheads. So we really need to have a treaty that bans the amount of megatons that they put in these nuclear bombs. And of course, a treaty that bans the first strike use of nuclear weapons, make it a war crime against humanity there. So we really need to have a new treaty that will give us a complete reduction of all nuclear weapons in the world, have a 10% reduction or a 5% reduction, over 10% reduction, and 10 years we'll have zero nuclear weapons in the world. And I'm patented inventor. We have designed a lot of different systems. We designed an anti-nuclear missile system years ago that can expand and receive nuclear weapons. We really have to seek peace with the Russians or the North Koreans and the Chinese and Indians and Pakistanis, the British, the French, Americans, bring all the people of the world together and make peace and have nuclear disarmament, get rid of these nuclear weapons by building a 24/7 system. Now, Russia has, they have been building this, trying to build this Sarmat missile, which has about 15 nuclear warheads. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's about 15. Look, this is a Sarmat missile revolution. The system that I designed years ago, and we applied for some patents on it. We also applied for a new patent this year on it. The patent number is 62373 235. This is an expanding missile system that is able to absorb, you have a very big, able to absorb incoming nuclear missiles and try and disarm them. So this type of system, which I would love that all the countries in the world should have this type of system. This is an expanding system that expands. It could absorb. If we can pick up this Sarmat missile before it launches these nuclear warheads, you would be able to absorb this one and absorb those 15 nuclear warheads. Inside of here, we have airbags that cushion the effect of the incoming nuclear missile. So it absorbs the Sarmat 15 that they have. And there are airbags here that cushion the effect of that incoming nuclear Sarmat. What we have here is we have saws, power saws around this expanding missile system. Power saws or laser saws, power saws that are going to cut off. And we could have, we have more than 15 saws. We could have 100 power saws that would be able to cut off those 15 Sarmat missiles. And if you cut off that, you can try, because of those 15 nuclear warheads, you can try and disarm them. And of course, if you can't disarm them, then the only alternative, you're going to have to send those nuclear missiles back to Russia. And this is a very important boomerang concept, because what you're really saying to these countries, you are eliminating that first strike advantage. They're not going to have an advantage by launching a first strike nuclear missile, because this system that I designed, we applied for some patents on, we also got some copyrights on it. It will expand, it will absorb those 15 Sarmat missiles, and those saws, power saws, are going to be able to cut off those wires. You have power saws in circular, you have power saws on top and on the bottom. So you have power saws cutting from 4 different locations, cutting around, cutting from on top, cutting from on the bottom, so you can quickly cut off those 15 warheads, and then you're going to try and disarm them. But the only alternative, you're going to have to send back those nuclear missiles back to wherever they came from. They came from Russia, you'd have to send them back to Russia. If those nuclear missiles came from North Korea, you'd have to cut them off and send them back to North Korea. If they came from China, you can cut them off and send those nuclear warheads back to China. If they came from Iran, you could receive them using those power saws, and you will also have drills that you can drill into, and drills that you can actually drill into them, into those warheads, and disarm them, and you can send them back. So this is a very important breakthrough, in nuclear weapons technology, because also in disarmament technology, because you're going to be able to force these countries to give up using nuclear weapons, bring them to the negotiating table, and have a 24/7 treaty of inspections. So what we really need is a 24/7 treaty of inspections by the International Atomic Agency that will inspect all the nuclear weapons and prevent them from trying to launch a nuclear first strike. We need to have a treaty that bans the first strike use of nuclear weapons, bans the power of these nuclear bombs, and also have a 24/7 treaty that will prevent, airspace violations. As you can see, there's been a lot of confrontation between American planes and Russian planes, and Iranian ships and American ships. We need also a treaty that will do that, and we have a lot of confrontation in the South China, between China and the Philippines and Vietnam and Japan. We need a treaty that bans also these airspace and sea space violations. So this is going to have a big change on forcing countries to give up nuclear weapons, because we can build saws now that can cut off
nuclear weapons, basically shred nuclear weapons, put in nuclear weapons through a kind of shredded system where you cut them up into small, into tiny pieces. You cut them this way, cut them that way, cut them this way. So we can actually build systems that rip apart nuclear weapons, cut them up, and basically shred them into thousands of fragments. And if you can't disarm them, then you have to boomerang them back. So we're really into this boomerang age where nuclear weapons are self-destructive and suicidal. So whoever becomes our next president, whether Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, we have to move in this direction of having these anti-nuclear systems, bring everybody together, Russians, the North Koreans, the Chinese together, have a 24/7 system, a new treaty that bans the power of these nuclear weapons, and build this type of technology. If every country has a system that can cut up nuclear weapons and shred them and rip them apart and tear them apart, we will get rid of these nuclear weapons and stop these wars. We also need to go towards a robotic military. Instead of sending our children out there to die, we need to establish a robotic military. A lot of people have been scared of robots, but if we build a robotic military that is based upon the principle of rescuing civilians, saving civilians, and evacuating civilians, it will be very effective in preventing wars, fighting these terrorists, and when we don't have to send our people out there to fight these terrorists, or humans out there, or women out there to fight these terrorists, or soldiers out there to fight them, we can send robots out there to fight them. And when that is based upon saving the lives of civilians, rescuing civilians, saving the lives of men, women, and children, we will have a very successful robotic system that can prevent wars and lead us towards world peace and disarmament. Remember to look for my book coming out on 24/7 Safety Inspection, Safety of the Nuclear War and Global Warming, the Nuclear Missile Boomerang Age. We also have to do something about global warming by getting the oil companies to take up some of that water out of the oceans, and we're going to be talking more about that. There's some music coming out also. President of Reggae Rap, I believe that my original song. You can get some of my gospel music by going to Amazon.com or on Tidal. We do have some of our gospel music where you can get. Give your hearts and lives to God and Jesus. And as Jesus says, blessed are the peacemakers, they will be called the children of God. Ask, you shall be given, seek, you shall find, nothing shall be opened unto you. And if we put our trust in God, if God is our leader, God will protect us. God, He will fight our battles for us. We will always win. But we have to bring all the countries together, Russians, Americans, Chinese, North Koreans, together to make peace and live together as a family. Thank you, God bless. This is Pastor Peter Christmas. Have a great day. Peace and love.